up Judi Vining, Long Beach Aware. Welcome everyone to our next segment. It was a big story in the Long Beach Herald, and it says Long Beach Starbucks gets okay to sell wine and beer at Starbucks. Judi Vining, longtime friend of the show from Long Beach Aware, was featured prominently in the article. Judi, go back to the beginning about not just your opposition to this, but so many prominent people in the Long Beach community being opposed to this idea.
When we first heard about it, we contacted the city council, we contacted Assemblyman Kaminsky. We heard about it kind of sideways. I think through somebody I know up in the state who told us about it. At any rate, the Board of Education, Assemblyman Kaminsky, Denise Ford, everyone went on, Commissioner Tagney, all went on record opposing it. We met with Starbucks, we asked them to withdraw their application. We did that because, simply put, the legislative mandate of the State Liquor Authority is to grant liquor licenses. So the simplest way of ending this would have been for Starbucks to simply withdraw their application. Their website talks about how they're an integral part of the community, how they like to be helpful to a community, be part of the community, help with community success. So that was our thrust. The community does not want this. Starbucks in Long Beach is a safe haven for kids. We have, across the street from Starbucks, there are at least 9 establishments that you can sit down, have a glass of wine, have a cold beer. You don't really need to be at Starbucks to do it, but this is their business model. We asked them to withdraw. We never heard from them after that. The next thing, we were notified with the State Liquor Authority that the hearing was last Tuesday. When we got there, Starbucks had originally told us they were asking for the license from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. When we got there, they were asking for 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. One of the commissioners on the SLA asked if they could go back to 7. They said no, that wasn't enough time. So they compromised on 5:30. They also told the State Liquor Authority that their survey showed that very few youth are in Starbucks in the evenings. Parents, of course, have told us very differently. The Central Council PTA also met with them. They were told that their kids go there, they do homework after the library, they meet for projects. The only ask that we have now is that Starbucks doesn't go forward with it. We would ask that the community, again, backs and gets back to Starbucks and says, please do not. So that's where we're at.
Judi, I'd like to read a paragraph from the story and get your opinion on it. I'm going to read from the Long Beach Herald story, and it says this: teenagers are constantly bombarded with negative messages and peer pressure, especially in relation to substance abuse. State Assemblyman Todd Kaminsky wrote in a letter to the chairman of New York State Liquor Authority in October. Starbucks is one of the few public establishments in Long Beach that is strictly free of alcohol, and as such provides a safe environment for youth to gather. Your comment to that?
Totally agree. It is a place that youth gather. It is safe, and for us it's very sad that there's one place that's now no longer safe for kids. And we're not saying, and I want to be clear, we are not saying that Starbucks is going to serve to underage minors. We're not saying that at all. But the research is very clear that the more places you have in a community, the more underage drinking you have. That's well documented, well researched. And we have 90+ establishments where you can purchase alcohol in 3.5 square miles. It's more than enough. We don't need one more.
Judi, have you found that the parents of the students in Long Beach are the ones that were really up in arms about this, because they always felt that Starbucks was a safe environment, kids could do their homework and study and gather in a non-alcoholic environment?
Absolutely. Parents are very upset about it. They were really one of the leaders in asking for some help and asking for Starbucks not to do this at all. If you read the comments on Facebook, if you read the comments on the patch, when the article was put up there, even, actually the patch did a poll and it was 30% in favor of having it, and 60 some odd percent not in favor. So we were kind of surprised, actually, because usually comments are more negative than positive, so that the comments were supportive of not serving alcohol. There were comments from parents that said, okay, you know what? Let's go to Gentle Brew. Let's get our kids to go to Gentle Brew. It's a local establishment, same atmosphere, but no alcohol.
Let's get the perspective of some parents that have kids that go to school in Long Beach School District. Let's start with Bernadette Ciccarello. Bernadette was on a segment earlier about tragic fire. But Bernadette, you have children. You also with a 20-year employee of the Long Beach School District.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion to this whole topic of Starbucks selling beer and wine?
I think they should not do it. Like Judi said, there's enough bars in this town for the kids that are 21 and over to go to. They have more than enough stuff for them to do down west and across the street from Starbucks. Starbucks is, I go in there, I see the young kids in there hanging out, drinking coffee, doing their homework on the computers. They don't need to have alcohol in front of them.
Let's bring on a friend, Lisa DiPasquale, who's never shy with her opinions. Lisa, what's your feeling on this topic?
I think it's appalling that a coffee place has to sell alcohol, especially with the West End a stone's throw. What I'm concerned, Gentle Brew closes very early, whereas Starbucks stays a little bit later. And I wanted to ask about how they can serve alcohol and children will be allowed to even be in the environment. What kind of a license covers that?
What they've applied for is called a tavern license.
Oh.
And yes, I mean, if you look at any of our local pizza places, they do sell wine, they do sell beer. What we're concerned about with Starbucks is it's more of a hangout for kids.
Right, and they stay.
And we love the fact that they have a safe hangout, and we no longer have that for them. And we would ask again that Starbucks reconsider going forward.
I personally think, from a business standpoint, it's going to hurt them business-wise, because they might sell some beer and wine, but I feel there's going to be plenty of parents throughout the Long Beach community that are going to tell their children that they do not want them frequenting Starbucks anymore as like a protest because they don't want them around alcohol. So I think it's a horrendous decision. I think it's a decision that is disgraceful in the fact that so many, from the city council to Long Beach Aware to assemblymen, so many people in Long Beach reached out in protest, and they just ignored all these letters and this concern. And I think, from a business standpoint, it's going to hurt Starbucks.
It may. What we would ask anyone to do now is, our first ask was to contact the State Liquor Authority because they have an email way of protesting. But now that that process has gone through, we would ask that anyone and everyone write to Starbucks, starbucks.com, contact us, and tell them how you feel about serving wine and beer in Long Beach Starbucks. Be very specific.
Okay, and the people that want to contact you, Judi, to further talk about this, how can they contact you on this?
We have a Facebook page, Long Beach Aware. Our email is info@lbcoalition.org, and our phone number is 208-6205.
All right, folks, we want to thank Judi Vining from Long Beach Aware for sharing. And let's hope that Starbucks reconsiders this horrendous decision and does not sell beer and alcohol at their Starbucks location on National. Thank you.